Hello YouTubelies. I am making a breakfast burrito video today. I'm gonna kind of vary it a little bit. Sorry, alarm clock. I'm awake. I promise I'm awake. Sorry about that. Anyway, on the previous videos that I had, I believe the pizza video and the cranberry orange pancake video, the microphone, some reason, was set on voice activated, so the volume kept going up and down, up and down. I'm trying to fix that, so I apologize for that on this video. Hopefully this one's better. But this is what I'm working with today, and I've already got my ground beef Get with it. My sausage. Okay, let me give you my ingredients and then just get it together. So I'm going to use the Gwaltney brand sausage. Yes, it's very cheap at Walmart. I want to say it's like less than $2. I don't know. I use it all the time. It tastes fine. It works great. Use whichever brand you prefer. As you can see back here when it tilts, I've got my sausage. Basically, I took half of this sausage roll here. I don't need a whole lot for 2 breakfast burritos. Obviously, you need to adjust the amount depending on how many people you're feeding and how much sausage you want in your burritos. But basically, I've just taken chunks off of that whole roll here to get half of it into that pot, and just, you know, medium-sized chunks, not huge, not too small. I'm also going to be using La Banderita, which is just another brand that I find that's usually pretty good on price. These are like the extra large flour tortillas. Obviously, you can use any size you like. I'm going to be using Great Value's chunky salsa. I got medium because I do like things to be a little bit spicy, not too bad. And this is where Southwest is going to meet Alps. Sorry. I'm going to use Swiss cheese, also Great Value, because I don't have any other cheese here to use right now. And it doesn't really matter because it's still going to taste good. And of course, eggs are going in there. So it's going to be sausage, eggs, salsa, and that's pretty much cheese, you know. So anyway, you can always add extra things, take things out, add more veggies in. I'm not doing it today, but green peppers and onions work well, red peppers, mushrooms, whatever you would pretty much put in an omelet is going to taste good inside of a burrito, basically. Cheeses, you can use any type you like. I've done this before, just a few days ago, with Swiss cheese. It tastes just fine. Use any type you like, though. If you want the real Southwest type flavor, I would recommend maybe going with, you can use like a jalapeno type cheese. That'll give you a little spicy kick. Some people like Colby or Monterey. There's a lot of varieties, and if you want, you can use the shredded cheese. They do come with the seasonings already mixed with the cheese, so you'll have your Southwest flavored seasonings in there, which is kind of like chili powder. And that works also when you do Italian foods. Just for your note, they have an Italian blend as well, and that's got all your Italian seasonings in it, so just a note. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and begin assembling my breakfast burritos and show you how I do it. So I'll be back in just a second. Okay, I am at the point where I'm going to go ahead and make my scrambled eggs. I want my sausage to be ready, my eggs to be ready, so basically all I have to do is assemble the burrito, roll it up, and then I'm going to put it into this hot little pan here that's going to be sprayed from sticking, so that the outside of the burritos basically get a nice brown, little crispy outside on it, because that's the way I like it. So anyway, as far as the eggs, season them any way you like. If you don't want salt, understandable. I'm not going to put any salt in these eggs. I don't generally. I'm going to use a little bit of black pepper in mine, a little bit of garlic powder. It helps with the flavoring between the sausage and the eggs in the burrito. And I have lately been using thyme. I actually really like the smell of it, and if you don't use too much, just sprinkle it lightly through when you're assembling your burrito. It actually makes a really good mix there. It comes out pretty nice. So I'm going to use, let me put this down, I'm going to be using 4 eggs, because I find that basically 2 eggs per person works well for the extra large burritos. And as soon as the eggs are done, I shall return. Alrighty, I am back and just seasoning up my eggs here. So sometimes I just put the seasoning in as I'm doing the burrito and not actually in the eggs, but today I'm just going to go ahead and put it in the eggs. I typically separate my seasonings till later. If, say, somebody doesn't want some type of ingredient, like they don't want thyme, then I'll make a separate set of eggs. We both kind of eat the same thing here, so it's not a big deal. So I've got my thyme, garlic powder, and a little bit of black pepper in there. Just basically gonna mix it up. Nothing fancy. You don't want your eggs to be too wet when they go into the burrito. So I'm not saying get them to where they're totally dry, but I know a lot of people eat their scrambled eggs pretty wet, so just don't have them where it's so runny that it's gonna make a doughy mess out of your tortilla, and you should be fine. So now I'm gonna go ahead and spray my pan and get these eggs started. I have my temperature on a low medium setting, kind of like a number 4 out of 10. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want, you can use scrambled eggs any way you want to. Basically for the burritos, it's not something that matters really. But I'm basically going to do a 1 huge pan of egg, as you can see. And being on low and covered, it's gonna take a little longer to cook. So it'll probably be about 6 to 8 minutes before I flip it to the other side, but I want it to be, it'll basically rise and become fluffy, and it's gonna be almost like an omelet, just a solid egg. It makes it easier to me to cut it in half and put it into the burritos equally instead of running out of ingredients halfway through. Hiding. So anyway, I'll be back as soon as the eggs are ready. All right, while I'm waiting on my eggs to finish, sorry, you can't see my counter, there it is. While I'm waiting on my eggs to finish, I'm gonna go ahead and work on the sausage back here. I'll bring it up so you can see it. Basically, it's all in chunks. I put it in the back burner again after draining it, and he has these nifty lids that have strainer holes in them. You can take the lid to the sink and drain out whatever you need. Hopefully you can hear me over the sausage. Basically, I have it back in there. It's still on medium heat, about a 5, and I'm gonna try to brown it just a little bit. Not too much, just, you know, enough to get a nice little crust on some pieces in there. And once the eggs are done, we'll be ready to assemble. All right, my pork is popping, so be careful, it does splatter with the grease. For those of you who are wondering why I boiled the sausage first, it helps cook it quickly. It takes some of the grease out of the meat, not all the flavor, just some of the grease. You'll still have plenty, trust me, I do right now, and doesn't dry it out at all. But you don't want to catch pig disease, people. You know what I'm saying? You don't want undercooked pork. So generally, anytime I'm making pork patties, pork sausage, or even, you know, ground up pork like this, I tend to boil it first and then do whatever it is I need. All right, so basically, I'm gonna pull this off the heat. This is my ground sausage. You can see it's just got just a little bit of browning on there. So I'm gonna drain out that extra grease because I don't need it. And I shall return when we are actually assembling. I'm going to take the tortillas, put 2 slices of cheese each on them, and I'm gonna microwave them for like 10-12 seconds, just enough to get the cheese to melt. Usually if I put the hot egg on there right away on top of the cheese, it'll melt it as well, plus you're going to do the little browning thing that I talked about, which is also going to melt your cheese. But Swiss cheese seems to be a little more resilient to heat, so I kind of start with it a little bit melted by microwaving it. I'm back quickly just to show you what the egg ended up looking like. I just flipped it. It's been about 6 minutes, and like I said, it's on medium-low heat, so you can see it is one big fluffy pancake of an egg. To me, that just makes it easier to divide it up. I've done loose scrambled eggs before and just kind of eyed it. It works, but this is kind of neat, nice. It's not in separate pieces to where you roll your burrito, it starts falling all over the place. It's a lot easier to do it with a solid egg. Okay, I'm beginning to assemble. Any of you who have worked with tortillas know that they need to be, generally, keep them at room temperature. Clearly they're in a Ziploc bag, but they wrap and fold a lot easier if they're a little bit warm. So, Jen's cheat, I leave a plate sitting on top of a warm, on low, eye of the stove, and I normally would put my 2 cheese slices right on there, and while I'm doing my eggs or something, it's not enough heat to burn the tortilla. Make sure you have a safe plate for this, people, if you do this. And it will actually start to melt the cheese, so I can skip the microwave step. Now, as you can see, I am not skipping the microwave step today because even though it's sitting on a hot eye at the moment, I'm going to move it just to show the difference. So right there is my cheese when I started. Me. I'm gonna go to the microwave, and that plate was really hot. Just thought I'd let you know. I'll be back when I've melted it a little. Okay, hopefully this shows up. I ended up needing to do about 20-ish, 30 seconds or so to get it melted. You should be able to see that it's very much starting to melt, and it's also got some condensation going on there from the cheese. So now I am ready to start assembling. So I have my egg, which I'm going to attempt to cut in half. I have new glasses, which make everything look very odd. They're either super close or really far away, and then I can't judge distances, so it's not the best all the time. But anyway, I've cut my egg in half. As you can see, it's one big old egg pancake, and I'm just going to lay it right here in the center. And I'm going to just scoop in some of my sausage. Now you can look up other videos. People have tons of tutorials on the best way to roll burrito wraps. I just kind of wing it and figured it out a way that works for me. So feel free to roll it a different way. I am gonna, let's see here, that should be good. I always give the ugly one to me and I give him the good one. So it doesn't matter if this one is not going to be the pretty one, because it won't be the one I show you at the end if it is ugly. Alright, so I've got my cheese, my egg, my sausage, and I'm just going to go ahead and put some chunky salsa on there before I roll it, not too much. As I say that, watch me mess it up. There we go, that'll do. Alright, I am going to just turn this, I'll do it towards you guys, this way. Helpful, huh? Okay, so anyway, I just basically like to start mine by tucking in the sides here, then bringing this over. You do need to keep hold of everything, and then you can kind of tuck in anything that's fallen out that way. If your sides get too wide, just pull them back in like I just did. And again, roll over one more time. Now this is really hot because it's still sitting on an eye of the stove I just finished the eggs on. But like I said, sometimes that's what I do. Now I'm going to need this pan again back here, so I'm going to scoop this egg over to my holding plate. And I'm going to go wash this out. Well, you know what? We don't really need to do all that. We don't need to do it. Let me keep it simple. Now I'm just going to be browning the burrito on the outside. The pan only has a little bit of residue in there, and it's sausage and egg. It ain't going to hurt nothing. Feel free to wash it out if you're kind of OCD about that thing. Alright, so I'm going to get my cooking spray again. I am going to spray my pan. I've got my heat back on because I did turn the eye of the stove off. Wasn't thinking about what I had to do. Alrighty, come on. I need it to heat. Okay, so it is heating up nicely. I'm going to pick up this folded burrito, place it right into the pan, and then I am going to use a Gen Cheat, which is, you can use olive oil flavor for this, which makes your burritos and stuff taste pretty good. I just happen to have canola oil spray, and my fingers are all kinds of greased up right now. But I'm going to go ahead and just lightly spray the outside of this. Why? Because when I flip it over, it's already got grease stuff on it, you know, to keep it from sticking. It's one of my cheats, people. Alrighty, so I'm going to go ahead and I'll be back as soon as I flip this. Alrighty, that was quick and easy. I upped my heat just a little bit just to brown it faster, but I wasn't going to put that on camera just in case it all went south. So I did turn it in time. Now I did stuff these quite a bit, so be careful when you're stuffing it. If it's really hard to roll it and tuck the sides in, there's a chance when you flip it over that it will open the ends a little bit, which happened with me. You can see the sauce right there. No problem, just went ahead and browned that other side and tucked it back in. So there's the bottom, there's the top. Pardon my napkins and messiness, just trying to clean off the plate. Basically, that's what I got, people. Gooey, cheesy goodness right there. And I can assure you they taste great. The only thing I'm lacking today is sour cream, because I forgot to get it when I was at the store. My fault. Alrighty, well, thank you for watching. Hope this is helpful, gives you an idea for a quick and easy breakfast, weekends, days off, whatever. You can use also, they do have, of course, the sausage that's already ready, just like the bacon that's already ready. You can substitute any meat you want, turkey, tofu, ham. You can use sausage, you can use anything you want. You can change your sausage, chorizo sausage. A lot of people like that in the morning. It doesn't affect it, it's the same process. You're just switching up your cheeses, switching up your meat, adding veggies, that kind of thing. But it's quick and easy. So thank you all. And especially thank you to my first 100 subscribers, because that was a really big deal. I didn't even know I was that close. And I got the big thank you email the other day. So thank you guys. Love you. And like and subscribe. Tell your friends.